Hello, and welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Anderson, and we have Ezekiel. Ezekiel, you can say hi.
Hey,
We have Kaii,
What it do, baby?
Chris.
what did the janitor say when you jumped out of the
Oh,
closet? He said supplies.
amazing. Alright, we have Eddie. Okay, Eddie's gonna just be quiet. And we have Andrew.
Howdy.
Yeah, there you go. Alright.
I hated Andrew's answer the most.
Fucker. Alright, but yeah. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna be talking just mainly about old stories, and then we'll later have the sad time with Andrew.
Hell
Andrew
yeah.
will host the sad time.
Andrew.
He'll
Bad
talk
boy,
about
Alan.
his breakup and his past relationship.
Like piece of
Did he
shit.
break up
relationship.
again?
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, did he?
No, he didn't.
No,
Not
I
yet.
was talking about.
Okay. He said yeah.
We
and
should
I
come
got
up with
confused.
on-screen names, guys.
Yeah,
We
we
can't
should,
because
but-
then we fuck up and say our own.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
To be honest,
No, it happened literally first episode. We tried so hard and it didn't work.
You know, imagine just saying, "Hey, yo, biggest boss," all the time.
I would easily be able to call Andrew Bart.
Yeah.
Little cold.
But here's the
I
thing,
would
you,
call
you,
him
you gotta
Bart
remember,
so easy.
Eddie is retarded.
Yeah,
I will forget immediately.
So am I.
No,
Big
Ezekiel-
fan.
Eddie's
Ezekiel gets a pass
Ooh.
because we love Ezekiel.
yeah. So like
Oh,
stories from
Ezekiel
the
gets a
past.
pass, but y'all are just fucking racist against me. I see how it is.
Eddie, I've had to know you for years.
He's had to know you.
I
He hasn't gotten to know you. He's had to
He
know
says
you.
like it's a curse.
It
he says
is.
it like it's a curse.
It's such a thing.
Here, you know what? We'll start it with the glue story. First grade.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
no,
God.
no.
I'm just sitting in class, we're chilling, learning, and we needed glue for something, I think. But one thing was, Eddie sat behind me, and I think he was
He's
having
still
trouble
talking.
getting his glue to work. And He kind
Glue
of
friend.
unscrewed the cap.
Ooh, get the
and-
juice.
Kai, what the fuck? But yeah,
I'm breaking ankles. I'm
I-
sorry.
alright, amazing. But yeah, no, he unscrewed the cap, and it exploded all over him.
Nice.
And it covered him in glue. It was a bukkake.
Nice. You got
basically.
covered in that white stuff.
Exactly, it looked like a
Sounds
bukkake.
yummy.
And so yeah,
That's hot.
He looked like a Snape wife.
yeah. Basically. And so it was funny because he was stuck in one position for like he was just covered in glue, just staying still. And I had to turn around, see him, and then tell the teacher, "Oh hey, look at what fucking Eddie did." So
Well, you know what?
Man was
Speaking of
dousing
this
In
corn.
story,
first grade, I'm like,
you know, speaking of this story, recently I've been watching a lot of VHSs of my child self, right?
all right,
And a video right after that came up.
what video?
They're VHSs, by the way. These are old as fuck.
What?
Right.
Right,
just
right.
essentially
We
me
did grow
crying
up
to
at
my
the end of
mom,
the VHS series.
saying that I got glue all over myself.
Is it really?
Yes.
You have a recording of the day you got glue all over yourself.
Yeah, and it was on like some random VHS. I will not, for the life of me, find it because I give up on it.
Eddie, you need
I
to
would
find
love
it.
to see that.
I would love to see it
Oh,
too.
I'll look for it tomorrow, I guess. I have a bunch of recordings of myself when I was a small child, and they're all VHS.
If
so-
you would like, you could record it and then
I have
send
a
it to me,
VHS
and
player.
I'll put it in the video.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm just never gonna start. I'm not just never
Eddie,
gonna search
ser-
that. For that
I said if
VHS
you
stuff.
want, okay?
Yeah, I'm never gonna.
You're a bitch for that, but okay.
Okay.
Alright. You guys
I'm
have
really
any
breaking
stories
this
you
killer's
want?
ankles. I'm not even scared of you, bro. I'm finna fucking do your bitch
All
ass.
right, let's talk about Sergio in the first grade then. If he's gonna talk shit about me.
Mm.
Oh, what was that, Eddie?
I actually,
Oh, shit, he
I
can't
actually
talk.
know, I actually know of a funny story of Sergio.
Which is?
It involves your grandma's house.
Which?
Uh, I forgot. It was like with it was like on the couch, I think.
What?
That's the biggest hint.
I farted? The fuck?
No, you shit yourself at your grandma's house.
When did I say this?
She did like that.
It really be like that. It really
I think
do.
it was like a long time ago.
Specifically
You
at your
just, like,
grandma's house, it really be like that.
I don't know.
So
It was 'cause
you let him talk shit about you,
Yeah.
but I can't.
No,
Well, I mean,
what was it? It was
Specifically,
After I've
fucking-
known you for years.
It wasn't at my grandma's house. No, it was back, like it was years ago though. I had gotten explosive diarrhea. That's why. I got
yeah,
explosive
you were
diarrhea.
telling me.
And what happened
like
was,
Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the
Why?
fuck up. All
Why?
that matters is you shit yourself.
well, yeah.
That's
Eddie,
it.
guess what? Shut the fuck up.
But
No.
he's gonna explain it.
Yeah, let me
I
explain
want
it.
to hear
God
the
damn
story
it. Eddie goes
behind
to the
like
fuck you
why
room
he
just because of that.
decided
And
to
he's
degrade
muted.
himself to the point of shitting himself.
Exactly. I had explosive diarrhea. I didn't know yet, but I found out sooner than later.
Sooner
Yeah.
or later.
My grandma gave me Jello, and I was just eating Jello on the couch, and I needed to fart, so I farted, and then I ended up shitting myself. And it wasn't like a forceful fart; it was just kind of right there, and I shit myself because of that. I didn't know
It's like a poop.
until like it felt, and I'm like, oh no. So I had to go to the bathroom, and I saw I had shit myself, and it was everywhere. It was horrible. Explosive diarrhea is called explosive diarrhea for a reason. And God,
I can just
fucking
imagine
hated
like a young, I can imagine like a young Sergio, just like out of nowhere, like getting done with Jello and just rocking, like he's just
Here's the
chilling.
thing, I
and
didn't even
shit,
get
and
to
then next
finish
thing you
my
know,
Jello.
I can just
Wow,
imagine
really?
like
That's
It was
the
in the
saddest
middle
part
of
of
me
the
eating
story.
Jello. I took like 2 bites, farted, and turned out I shits myself. So I just fucking went to the bathroom.
I shitted, I farted, I
That's
came.
the saddest part of the story, though.
Wait, did I tell you guys about the nut shower?
The what?
The nut shower.
The nun shower?
Did you say
Nut-
nut shower, Chief?
Yeah, nut shower.
No.
Yeah, Boy State.
What's that?
Oh, I
No.
just.
Damn.
How did I just do you like that, bruh?
Eddie, no, you didn't.
Okay,
Bruh,
so-
move.
I'm so
Alright, so I'll tell you guys.
confused. Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so I had Boy State for about a week last year in the summer, and it was pretty much established you're not gonna drink the entire week because you're surrounded by all day. So
You're surrounded
yeah,
by other
we
dudes
had
all
these-
day, right?
yeah, all day. So it's basically just considered. Either way,
Just say no homo, dude. You gotta.
ironically, we did have gay people there,
And then get them to help.
but either way, even they had the rule of that. Either way, you know, things are normal. We have showers there because you're staying there for a week. Why aren't you gonna? And they were like tiny showers with a little curtain, and like it's only like 5 of them, so like there would be lines every morning to get in the shower. And one day, out of nowhere, a rumor starts going around that some kid nut in the shower. Yeah,
That happened at my camp.
that's
too.
our legacy. We still do not know who the fuck nutted in the shower.
If we're doing camp,
This is all.
I gotta.
This was all in a
decent
college too. This is a college dorm. that we were
Ah,
staying in.
shit.
Somebody nutted in the shower. So that was just, yeah.
Shit, it'd be like that though. Like sometimes you gotta bust one off real quick. I can't hold it.
It almost sounds like so you guys remember when I went to the hospital, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The what?
So I went to
Yeah.
the hospital last year and stuff like that. So like I was an inpatient for a while. And we had like roommates, you know? And we all
Mhm.
shared a shower and stuff like or no, we didn't share a shower, but we like had one bathroom. So we take turns and stuff like that. So you know, we all get in this one room. Like most of the day, we're all in one room together, and that's like the green room, I guess, or something like that, whatever they want to call it. Basically, there was this thing going around where kids were like, "Yeah, you know, I'm very happy we get the shower so I can masturbate," and I was like, "What? Nani?"
Shit.
And then like
Okay.
everyone's talking about masturbating in the showers and stuff like
Yeah.
that and how like it feels better. And then I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, huh. So then when the time comes, like I'm showering and I think about it, and then I feel so dirty because I'm like, no, because I have a roommate right there. I don't want
Right.
to off in the shower. Cause then like I feel like he's gonna go in next and be like, yo, what the fuck is on the floor? And I'll be like, I don't know.
Just shoot it
Oh,
down
getting
the
rid of
drain.
evidence, Andrew.
You gotta
Right.
shoot it down the drain, my guy.
The drain it goes.
With my
And as you've told us before, you have some pretty accurate shot when it comes to that.
Yeah, you
Oh.
say you have good aim with that, so.
it's so messy and I don't like it.
Well,
Phil
that's
Swift.
your own fault.
Ah yes, Eddie. It's a gift and a curse.
It's a gift and a
It's a
Being
gift and a
able
curse.
to aim your nut shot.
So inaccurate.
Oh shit, a bee! Oh shit! Oh shit, oh shit, oh
Eddie,
shit,
shut
What about
up
you?
about the bees.
oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit,
Okay.
oh shit,
Like
oh
a
shit,
decent
oh shit,
camp
oh
story
shit,
I
Like-
have. Multiple people have like
oh shit, oh shit,
we're nutting in the showers for no reason. Like that would just happen, and it became kind of a trend to just nut in the shower, even if you didn't need to nut. Like just to do it
Oh,
was the
thank
trend. So like, I thought that this was a pretty cool camp because everybody was Jewish, so I expected it to be some form of pride and respect,
No.
and that was cap.
No.
Because some counselors were caught like fucking in the cabin. Like we
Dude.
walk into the cabin, fucking. Like why? On the top bunk too, so they climbed up there.
These hate you.
This wasn't like we just finna fuck real quick, and they were on the bottom bunk. They were on the top bunk.
Wait, these are counselors, right?
Counselors, yes,
Huh.
clapping cheeks.
Quick question: were they get?
What?
Were they gay? Is that your
Yeah.
question? No.
I don't know because I didn't listen to half of your story.
God, I swear.
I was too busy running away from bees. I'm sorry, Kai.
He's going to a corner of
Be like
shame
that.
for now. He goes to corner of shame just because of that. Eddie, go to corner of shame.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's back.
Eddie,
I'm back.
don't do this.
And you're getting rigorously kicked.
I'm back.
I can feel the idiocracy flow through
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
you? What about you, Chris? Any childhood stories?
Once in 5th grade, I stapled my finger.
Why?
Wow, shit.
Why?
Cause
I'm
like
back.
they were like some kids. They were like shooting staples out from the stapler. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I should try it.
He left.
And I pushed down, and like it just stabbed into my finger.
Oh, you did it wrong.
Did it hurt?
It stung at first, but it didn't really hurt after.
Okay, what?
I'd imagine it's kind of just like a needle going into your head. It's like, I need
Yeah.
It's like, it's just a needle.
What about
Unless you got a
you?
pair of needles, that's
Ezekiel?
different.
Ezekiel, you have any stories?
Second
Thank you.
grade, Miss Lazenby's class. I have two of them. We were all almost done with the day, and our teacher literally died in front of us.
No fucking way.
Oh yeah, you
Are
told
you
us the
serious?
story.
Me and Isaiah were there. Isaiah Taylor. I was like, is she fucking sleeping? And everybody was just crying and screaming. Then the ambulance came.
Oh my
And then
lord!
that
I don't
that
think that
before
happened.
she died, or I don't even know, probably had a stroke or some shit. Before that, I remember we were doing station. I remember exactly what station that was at.
What station
Oh my
was
god,
that?
I remember
Yeah,
state.
what station?
What was it? I asked her if I could go use the bathroom. She said, "No, baby, it's almost time to go. Just hold it." And since I was a good
Dang, and it was her
student,
time to go.
I just sat my ass there, and then
Oh my
I shit
god.
myself. And then my friend who was next to me, his name was Jeremiah, and he was like, "Yo, you smell some. It smells like shit." And I'm like, and then because
Oh my
I didn't
god.
want him to know,
That
I was
same
like,
story happened to me in kindergarten.
"Yeah, I smell that too."
You
And then
shit
they all found
yourself.
out, like, yes, because I was
Wow.
too
It
scared to
happens
just
to the
run
best
out
of
the
us,
class.
though.
I mean, in kindergarten, I did piss myself because we
Yeah,
I
had
don't know,
this
I took
little
it to the
thing.
extreme.
I know, I could see that. But what was it? We had this thing. You hold your fist up and just stick out your thumb if you need to go to use the bathroom. I did
we
that
still did that in
for
first grade.
I know, but in what was it? In like kindergarten, I held it like that
Yeah.
for like an hour, and since I'm 5 years old, I can't really hold it well. And it went to the
You're
point where
fucking
I
child.
pissed myself and I started crying.
Like that
And
Alright.
so yeah,
for real,
the
for real.
the teacher really felt bad because she didn't notice me the whole time.
Yeah,
And
I have a completely different story,
so yeah,
but involving me pissing in kindergarten too.
okay, go ahead.
Alright, so kindergarten, right? Some firefighters came to visit us, and I was a pussy ass kid. So
Firefighters.
they walk up to me, right? They walk up to me, right? They're like,
Black
"Hey,
man's
how's it
greatest
going?"
enemy.
And I didn't know much English at the time, so I was terrified as all hell, and I pissed.
I remember in first grade.
It's so
The worst part
simple,
is the bathroom was in the classroom. You could literally just walk in at
I
any time.
remember.
Oh yeah, true. When I was in third grade, our bathroom was in the classroom too.
Yeah,
Bro, I blew that
what
bitch up
happened
one
was-
day. The
Nobody
whole
noticed.
class
Nobody
was
noticed I
fucking
pissed myself. Nobody noticed I pissed myself.
there.
And
Good.
I stayed like that the entire day, but people noticed there was a scent of pissing me. And my closest friend, who wasn't really even my friend at the time in kindergarten, was all like, "It smells like pee," and I literally just walked away from them.
My dumbass was like, "Yeah, I smell it too."
Oh my god,
I
That it's a horrible feeling as a kid too. That's the thing. Like right now, it's like, oh damn, poor kid, but it's like, then it really fucking sucks. It's a horrible feeling, right?
Cause like,
Yeah.
damn, I just
Yeah.
pissed myself.
Because me looking
Uh,
back at it right now, it doesn't really bother me. Shit happened, whatever. But
we're
at the
kids.
time, it fucking was horrid.
Well, Kai, do you want to tell your story first or me?
You can go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know what grade I was in. I was just like really little. And I went to like a Catholic school. That's not important, but it's important for me that you guys know that. So I went to a Catholic school and we were like, and I was like, "Can I go to the bathroom?" And the teacher was like, well, we gotta pray and say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we go down for lunch. So if you can hold it until after, I know. So she's like, if you can hold it until after lunch, then yeah, sure. And I'm like,
After lunch, you can go to the
After
bathroom.
lunch though,
It's gonna turn
Dude,
out into an equal situation.
goddamn
They had-
Catholic.
they had specific time where you had to use the bathroom. So I was like,
Oh god.
so
That was
so
us
like
in kindergarten too, though. I get it.
What type of Nazi Germany shit is that?
So wait, hold on. So we get done with prayer, and like I really have to piss, and like we start doing the Pledge of Allegiance, and as we're doing the Pledge of Allegiance, I just sit there and piss myself, and I'm in the middle of the classroom, and I'm like trying to hold it, but I can't, so I'm just pissing myself, and it's running down my leg, and I'm making like a small
I
puddle.
hate that feeling. Oh, fuck.
And I remember everyone like left and stuff. They didn't notice. And then like the teacher's like, "Hey, are you gonna go?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Why?" And I'm like, and I started crying. I'm like, I pissed myself. And then the janitor, God bless his soul. I'm pretty sure his name is Ricardo. But I fucking love you. Bless you.
Oh my
You're an
god,
amazing
I
soul.
was still
Dude,
Hey,
he
Serge,
came in.
remember the
he
janitor from our school?
Guy? His name
Yeah.
was
The
Guy.
janitor.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Guy the janitor.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
He's
So,
still there.
Is he really?
Yeah.
No, I thought he retired.
No.
No, he
Oh, he
retired.
died?
No, he
No, he
retired.
didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, my little brother was just talking about him.
I don't believe him.
You kind of can't.
Andrew,
It's
what were you
fine.
I
saying?
mean, I could, yeah, but I mean,
oh yeah, bless the janitor's soul. He's like cleaning up the puddle, and I'm still standing in there because I'm so ashamed. I didn't know what to do, and he like cleans up and stuff, and he's like, "Hey, can you move for a bit?" And I was like, "Okay." And then I'm like, I looked at him, and I'm like, "I'm really sorry. Like, I'm so sorry." And he's like, "Ah, it's fine. Accidents happen all the time." And I'm like, "Okay." So then they told me to go to the bathroom and stuff, and like clean, like just use the bathroom if I need to. And then I sat down for lunch, and they had to call my dad, and he had to bring me a whole new pair of pants. So here's the thing, my dad told me later on, he's just like, I was really confused because I saw you eating nachos there. And I'm like, why were you why were you confused on me eating nachos? He's like, because the school said you threw up, and that's why you needed new pants. I was like, no, Dad, I pissed myself. And
The school covered for your ass for the embarrassment.
I know, and I'm like, I had to look my dad in the face and be like,
even they
no,
were
Dad.
embarrassed for you.
I know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and now I have that mentality of if I have to go, fuck it, I'll piss in the trash can if I need to.
Yeah. Understandable.
Man,
I mean, you pissed yourself in the class.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean-
once you
I'm
like
a grown
fucking
man.
use
I
the
can
bathroom
piss
on
the bed if I
yourself
want
any way,
to.
shape, or form, you start to not give a fuck whether or not people let you go to the bathroom. You're willing to like leave class for it.
I have
Yeah, I'm
another-
out. I ain't trying to
I
shit
haven't-
myself again.
I have another terrible story of me throwing up.
I have a saying: if you do
Me
to
too.
yourself, and I live by that.
If you do to yourself.
If you do to yourself, that is all.
It's supposed to be a Tyler the Creator. What was it? Tyler the Creator said that. It was just funny to me and fits in for Ezekiel.
If
you do to yourself.
Here's the story of how I threw up. Actually, no. I have Kaii tell us best story.
Yeah,
and then I'll
let's
tell
let Kaii.
Yeah.
No shit. All right. Okay, so boom, 7th grade. I had work study after school.
Wait,
Work
you
study.
shit yourself or you pissed?
Let the man
No.
finish talking.
I'm
No. God damn it.
I'm sorry.
In
I'm
7th
sorry.
grade, I had work study. Work study is just like cleaning a classroom after school if you have financial aid. Because I went to a private school. And they were very Christian, and I hated it. But we finished work study. I needed to use the bathroom. I finished work study. I worked there and didn't do shit. And I was like, I need to use the bathroom. And she was like, just wait for the bell. And I'm like, but I need to go. And so, like, I'm sitting there, and I was holding it, and it's, like, slowly slipping out over time, like, little by little. And, like, we had uniforms, but I was wearing black pants that day, because we had a performance after school, because I was in choir. So,
Wait,
I
quick
fucking-
question. Sorry, Kai, for interrupting. Ezekiel, can you lower your switch a bit?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
it's no
you
problem.
good, you good.
Go ahead.
So, I'm like, I need to go. So he's like, well, the bell's about to ring, so you could go ahead. So I stand up and I feel moistness and I'm looking down and it's like from it slipping out over time, it's basically like I've just pissed myself. Like, so I'm like, shit. So I'm like nervous as hell. I start walking down the hall, then the bell rings. And from the bell ringing, I didn't expect it to ring. I don't know why the bell scared me as much as it did, but it scared me. And that made like way more piss than it should have come out of me. But I wasn't done yet. Like, it was still there. It was just like now it was really a prominent feature on me. So I go to the bathroom, I use the bathroom, I back up to look into the mirror, right? and it's like I'm wearing black pants, but it's still somewhat noticeable. Like you can see it. So I'm like, oh my fucking god, like it's here. I had like it was like a fucking stain right on my dick. So I had to go to the fucking auditorium and fucking perform a song with my choir on stage with this piss stain on my
Oh,
pants.
that's awful.
Fucking rest in pieces, dude.
Yeah, that was
Rest,
that was a time. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure people knew, but they let me slide. Like
rest in piss, man. Rest in piss.
for real, rest in
No,
piss.
but Kai is a trooper for that.
Oh.
He fucking still went through and did that fucking performance.
Yeah, I was.
In
I
his
swear to
piss
God.
pants.
Shit, I'm like, I'm gonna
I-
get seen. I was nervous, but I was like, as long as I
I
do
swear to
this,
God,
please.
I thought you were about to get out, but
It
No.
was more so.
You gotta go
I
through
mean,
here.
I'm stage fright as well, so that kind of helped distract me from the whole stage fright thing. Because I'm like, I need to focus on just trying not to look like I pissed myself, rather than trying not to look
Shit.
like an idiot.
I understand.
Oh, and
Jesus.
then we had to stand with our hands behind our back when we
I swear to
performed on
God.
stage or on our sides. So it's not like I can put my hands in front of me to like hide it.
this is just the door. That door is. Yeah.
God.
Oh, that was a time.
Throw up time.
Throw
Since
up.
me and Sergio both have a story. We were doing this thing and I forgot what it
Wait,
was.
I
It
have a
was
throw
like-
up story?
You said you
said
did.
you did.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I thought
fuck.
you said
Shut
you did.
up.
I didn't.
Yeah,
no.
we all thought.
No,
Okay,
I
well,
didn't.
my shitty throw up story. Basically, I was a fat kid. I went to. It was a different. It was a different Catholic school. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a Catholic school. I'm sorry. It was a school that I went to that was ran by my aunt. She was the principal. Basically, we were doing something in gym. I was a little fat kid, and I had asthma. I still do, so nothing changed. I'm still fat. We were doing stuff, and then I stopped, and I went outside to get water, and I felt so dizzy, and I was like, well, I see a bright white light. So then I threw up, and I threw up a lot, and then I got some water and went right back inside. And I just threw up on the
Oh my
floor.
God.
And then when we came back out, a janitor was there, cleaning up the throw up, and I was like, holy shit! I was so
I don't know.
But yeah, needless to say, I threw up.
I have a
I-
tiny throw up story.
I throw up a lot. For someone who does hates throwing up, I threw up quite a bit. I threw up a lot in my
I don't think
ex-girlfriend time.
anybody pleasures throwing
Yeah.
up.
Except
guess
the
so.
anorexic chick.
Except for
Fucking
Sergio.
hurts or some shit. Just think.
What's your story, Kai?
They just kick.
It's like
What's
it's a
up,
simple
bro?
one. This was work study again, but I think this was probably 8th grade instead. I had the same teacher for work study, it was just a different class. But I wasn't feeling too well. I had a fever. And the thing about the school I went to, my private school, if you weren't dying, you had no excuse to not do anything or not
Sounds like our
participate, I guess. Basically, that's basically how they did us because, I would have a fever. I would say I wasn't feeling good. I would go to the dean, but it's like if you didn't have a fever, it didn't matter, even if you weren't feeling good.
They some bitches.
But I had
for
a
that.
fever. Yeah, to be honest, and I had a fever, and they still didn't call my mom or ask me if I wanted to be sent home. So I was going through the entire day feeling like shit. And I went to my guidance counselor, and she took my temperature, and she was like, "Yeah, you're hot as shit. You need to just
Damn,
try to
damn,
tough it
I
out
know
because
you
work
too.
study was almost done." So I was like, "I." So I went back to my class, and I was like, "Can I get some water real quick before I come back in here?" He's like, "Yeah, go for it." So I went to the water. He was like, "Let me just go in the hallway," but he had to lock when you left because they were really strict on that, students being in the hallway during work study. Even though the water fountain was literally right across from his room. Like, he still had to watch. So he went out there to keep watch.
Teachers still do that at our
And-
schools.
Yeah, nah. But they were just strict for no reason on a lot of shit that didn't make sense. So when I go to take a sip of the water fountain, like of the water out of the water fountain, I threw up like in the water fountain. It's just like,
Oh
and
my
like
God.
it's just like a pile of it. And I was like, oh shit. And I looked at him like, oh shit. Like I threw up in the water fountain. I was like, what do I do? I started freaking out because I'm like, I just threw up in the water fountain. And so
You know,
the
the
math
one
teacher
place
was
people
there.
usually don't.
Right. That's like literally the one place people don't throw up. So he was like, sheesh. All right. Just go ahead, go back in the classroom and sit down. I'm gonna get somebody on this. It's cool. So I'll go back and sit down. And I'm sitting there like, this is crazy. I need to go home. So when I get home, normal fucking day. I didn't go to school the next day. But I'm thinking in my mind, my what's it called? The dean took my temperature and I had a fever. My guidance counselor took my temperature and I had a fever. And my work study teacher literally saw me throw up in the water fountain. So I'm like, they know I'm sick,
And you
right?
still didn't go home.
Yeah. And they knew I was sick, right? This is the part that fucking hit for me. They knew I was sick and didn't even excuse my absence. They told me that I still needed a doctor's note.
Wow.
But
Yeah,
the
sounds
whole
fine.
reason I got worse because they didn't let me go home.
No, you see,
So
nowadays at our school, I don't even bother going to the nurse. I just kind of text them all like, "Hey, yo, I feel like I'm
yeah,
gonna throw up," and they're like, "Okay, you can drive, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go." I'm like, "Okay."
I just walked home. I did the same.
Yeah, that's kind of how it just is now.
It's the only thing to do.
They're so fucking passive aggressive. The nurses.
Oh, extremely,
fuck
dude. The one
They
time I
are
did,
so.
they're like, "You look fine to me," and I'm like, and I was over here like about to throw up.
Oh, remember
Yo,
when they were doing that
Andy.
thing about the shots?
Yeah,
Oh, that was annoying.
So
Oh my God.
they called
Oh
me
yeah.
down, and they were saying I was missing a shot. I'm like, I brought that paper when I registered, and they checked my little file.
Uh-huh.
It was right there. They're like, okay, you could go. The next week, they call me again. I go, and then the lady's like, why don't you have any of your shots? So pissed, like angry at me, and I told her, I'm like, I just came here last week. Yes, I do. Check it. Because I was getting pissed off at that point. And once she
Yeah,
checked
no.
it, she felt fucking
Yeah,
stupid because she saw, oh, I forgot to mark it off. And
Yeah, I
so,
remember when they called you off.
Yeah.
Ooh. So when I was registering for school, they're like, "Hey, you need a meningitis shot," and I was thinking, I feel like I already had a shot, but okay, whatever. You know what I mean? And then I had to I had to schedule it and everything. I took the time out of my day to walk there, in order to get the shot.
Oh shit,
So
my
I'm
bad.
walking all the way there to get the shot. I sit there, I wait my little happy ass an hour, stuff like that, and I get my shot and everything. And as soon as I got done with the shot, I was like, okay, might as well talk to like the nurse or something like that for a bit. Talk to the nurse and stuff like that. And the nurse was the one who said it, not the doctors. Like the nurse said, like, oh, you need this at the school. And I was like, all right, whatever. And then I get to like the little, and then like the lady tells me, she's like, oh, by the way, I'm looking at it right now. You did not need a shot. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you never needed that shot. I don't know why they said you
They
did.
didn't
But
stop you?
I
Yeah.
hate those fucking
They did not
old-ass
stop.
I
nurses.
got hit with the same thing.
I am
They need to
protected
die
from
off school because of that shit.
I'm more pissed at your doctor for not stopping you.
I am protected from double
Serious,
meningitis.
man.
I am not me.
Double meningitis. They cancel each other out.
Yeah. Now you've got a
You're
higher
fucking
chance
sorry.
of autism and meningitis.
But yeah.
Autism because you got a vaccine.
That shit was,
Oh
I
my
hated
God.
that shit when they did that. That was so stupid.
I
Like
was
they
like,
were really on thick of some fucking shit that no one had and no one could fucking catch.
I hate the
Because it was
staff
getting-
that so much.
It's because it mutated
They need
or some shit
chlamydia
like that.
support.
Right.
Like, they need some form of something shit. Cause bitches.
Like, bitch, give me a herpes check. I'll take that over like a meningite
Right.
shit. Please.
Check me for an STD. Like half of the students in the school have it.
Right.
I know. I touched a
Honestly,
railing and next thing you know I got fucking gonorrhea and I was like, shit.
I got touched, like literally just bumped against by a book bag, and I got herpes, like stage
Some-
16.
No, some girl
It's
said hi.
16. I like how you think there's stages to herpes.
Dude,
well, there is stages to herpes. There's
Is
two
there?
stages. Yeah,
Oh,
there's
great,
some-
now I feel retarded.
There's
I actually did
Oral-
not know that either.
oral herpes, genital herpes, and then technically a cold sore is a strain of herpes.
Wait, a cold
That's
sore
not
counts
stages;
as
those are
herpes?
forms.
like a
Yeah,
like a
but-
canker sore or a cold sore. Yeah, that's a herpes.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought those were just things that
Basically.
appeared because like you
You
bit
know,
yourself
No.
or
that
something.
YouTuber
Like-
So that means I have
I mean,
herpes.
he's got hella cold sores on.
Is
I mean,
Okay,
hold on,
Eddie.
hold on. A little educational lesson. About like 0.3% of the world doesn't have herpes. So, if you don't have herpes, you're the weird one. Because we all have some form of herpes. We just don't. It's just like not to the extent of genital and oral. It's more so like, oh, I got a canker sore, whatever. You know.
Well, I guess I'm the weird one because I don't have jack shit. Like
well,
Oh,
I mean,
so that explains the bumps
I'm
on
fresh
my
and clean.
dick.
Eddie, come on.
So that's why it
Eddie, Eddie, bro, you
What did
really
Eddie
just.
say?
Eddie just admitted to having herpes. Amazing.
Alexa, why does it burn when I pee?
That is chlamydia.
Eddie, if
That's
it makes
just
you feel
chlamydia.
Eddie, if it makes you feel any better, some chick said hi to me and I got gun herpes the next day, so
Imagine if jizz was white instead of red.
Right.
Yeah,
Why is mine yellow?
Exactly, man.
Okay.
Jizz is that thing when you like go to use the bathroom, right?
I like pissing in the snow because I can see my name in red.
Andrew, go to a doctor.
Hello.
You fucking.
Hello.
Okay, there we go. My wife has
So we ran about the terrible staff at our purple
And-
school
Add blue.
at Blue.
We suck. They all suck. Except like a few teachers.
Yeah.
So when I was gonna get my
Yeah,
bus
teachers are
pass,
good.
because I've been struggling to go
What
to
the
school.
fuck was that?
The teacher was like, "Why do you need a new bus pass? Like, don't you like live a few blocks away?" I'm like, "Girl, we got foreclosed." And then she's like, "Oh, that sucks for you, but I can't get you one."
Sucks for you, lol. I have a house and you
I
don't.
should have
Rollins
packed
D,
that
fuck
Mexican
you.
hoe back to Son Lobos, whatever the fuck she was
Just
from.
beat her ass.
Nah, I'll punch her in her
Honestly,
stomach.
if you like
murder
It's
beating
her.
her
either
ass,
eat her
like,
ass or eat her ass. You gotta pick one or the other.
it's crazy. Like this is really what happens when you let them out the kitchen. They do a little bit too much.
Right.
Could do a little bit too
Yo,
much.
guy, chill out.
I don't think you should talk to that when like our only 2 viewers are females.
That's true.
Ah. Should I apologize?
Eddie.
Just kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
Just kidding.
But
Just kidding. They don't deserve it.
Eddie,
You guys want equal rights?
society
You guys
already
want
loves
equal
you
rights.
enough. because
That's
you're a
when we
woman. You
lose
don't
our only
deserve
2
anything
viewers.
I'm sorry for the blatant racism. I mean, sexism.
Racism, you mean sexism?
Sexism, misogynism, whatever.
We
It's not
love
misogyny,
you.
it's
women.
called
We love you.
fact.
It's called gayism.
I'm a strong believer in feminism,
My current
guys.
religion.
I believe a woman should be able to make a sandwich wherever she wants.
Exactly.
Of
women
course.
are not poopy
Okay.
buttholes.
If I had the ability to kick you, I would have kicked you the minute you said feminine.
Eddie, you know what?
I was about
have
to
the
tell you to
ability
just
kick
end it.
you. So guess what?
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Eddie.
Corner
Stop
shaming.
bullying each other.
No.
Eddie can. Any other stories from my childhood?
Yeah.
Oh, I
So-
remember in second
Go
grade.
for it, big boy.
My
Go for
no,
it, big
this was in
Michi.
first grade. My stomach was hurting, but she was like, "No, you have to be in here for this lesson because it's very important." I just walked up to her, and for some reason, I just threw up all over her legs.
Smart.
I was like,
Yeah.
Fucking Ezekiel's just being a savage.
and then she was like,
Genius.
"Put it in the bathroom, right?"
Ezekiel's a god.
That's a whole nother level of fucking
That
savage.
really is a whole nother level to it.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
never.
Oh
just,
my
like,
fucking
throw up
God.
I
on
felt
her.
bad for the janitor. I remember who he was because he still works there. His name is Mr. Baker. He's just cleaning it up. Like, man, why you gotta throw up on her legs, man?
I'm not
Like,
man.
my God. Okay,
Well,
Patrick
That's
number 2.
he's yeah, that's a real black guy right there. You can throw up on the
I
legs,
just
man.
realized we have janitors in our school. Oh my God.
Yeah, we do, and they really like to talk like they have some form of status. Like,
They have
You
the
know-
worst. I remember
Fuck,
that janitor
that's
always used to
true.
do coin trick. Used to pull out a fucking quarter behind everybody's ears. Like, is that your fucking paycheck, sir?
Aw.
I mean, for real, like, bitch gets promoted to custodian and they start doing too much.
Right? Like, can you give me my quarter back? Man, y'all
What
think
do you mean? That's my paycheck.
Oh no. I like how we're laughing at this, but custodians actually get paid a shit ton.
They really
they probably
don't.
get paid more
I'm
than
gonna tell you
teachers?
this right now. Some
Dude,
really don't.
actually, yeah.
And I say that because like I used to talk to one and she used to be like she used to tell me about how she struggled to pay rent that month for her and her daughter, like for her, and then she'd like need her like 16-year-old daughter's help. I felt so bad. I was like, oh,
No, I feel
mean,
bad.
I don't know. I'm just going on the perspective. People who throw away our trash every day, not every day, well, every week or so, get
Every
paid a shit
Tuesday.
ton. You'd think the people who have to clean up, throw up, and piss would be getting paid a lot more.
Yeah, I think so too.
it's actually the
Yeah.
it's actually the maintenance people that get paid a lot more.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
So
To
like
be honest, teachers should get
The
paid a lot
IT
more
people.
than they do.
some teachers.
Some teachers. 'Cause
Some
then
of them
they
need
flame
to know their
this
place.
guy
Yeah,
as being a multi-billionaire.
I mean, yeah.
That's just bullshit.
I'm gonna be honest. Some of these teachers talk to us like we don't know what their car look like.
That's on God. I be seeing some teachers leave the lot, and I'm like, damn, you sure did talk that shit earlier. That's crazy to
That-
me.
that's
Wouldn't it be
pretty true.
crazy if somebody just fucking followed you home or something?
Wouldn't it be so fucking crazy if I just grabbed a bat and started fucking your car up?
Right.
Wouldn't it be fucking crazy if I fucked your daughter?
Wouldn't
Exactly.
Wouldn't
it be
that be
crazy?
hot?
Wouldn't it be crazy if I turned your husband gay? That shit would be wild, bro.
Alright, you guys are going off the road a bit, but okay. Let's just keep this.
Wouldn't it
whatever
be
is.
crazy if I took your dead great grandmother's ashes
Yeah.
and put them on my fucking food as fucking seasoning? Crazy.
Wow.
Hey yo, if you eat somebody's
Wouldn't it be
ashes,
crazy?
you gain their powers. You eat your grandma's ashes,
That's some
you get the
Attack on
power of
Titan
can't
knitting.
wait to get the.
Oh,
I
I'm
can't
on
wait
my
to
way to
get
Mexico
the
right
power
now.
of complaining of
If you eat
millennium.
any woman's ashes at all, you get the power of learning to be obedient.
Oof.
I'm making a stand.
I thought you were gonna say the power of cooking.
I mean, that comes
I
with
would've
it. If
cooked
somebody,
2
you don't
times
cook
in
unless
2 times.
somebody wants you to cook for them. Like,
Yeah, this definitely went off track.
This went way off track. I don't know what you're talking about.
do I have any other
I
stories?
think
I
it's
have
right on
stories-
track.
I have stories of recently. Oh, I do have a story. I should tell you guys the story of why I don't like Valentine's Day.
Why don't you like that one?
Other
I
than
mean,
the
I don't
fact
like
that
it
it's a
either
made up
because it
fucking
reminds me of
holiday.
how lonely I
It's
get.
a made up holiday. So
continue.
hold on.
I
So I remember there was this girl in my class. Oh my god, I liked her so much. And so I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna ask her to be my Valentine. And then I got
Money
her.
I
moves.
already don't like where this is going.
I get like my aunt helped me planned this thing, and I already like it was my first Valentine. I'm gonna put it like that. It was my first Valentine.
Oh no.
So I was
Yeah,
like,
that does news.
so my aunt helped me. Like my aunt, my aunt is a sweetheart. God bless her heart. If there is an afterlife, I hope she goes to wherever good is, because that woman's soul is pure. She helped me, so she got me this girl a teddy bear, a balloon, and chocolates. And what she did, so the next day I'm like, yeah, oh, and a card. So what happened was I gave it to her and stuff like that, and then she said no, but she still took the items. She ended up
I
popping
would
the
have pulled that
balloon.
bitch back.
Hold on. She ended up popping the balloon, giving the bear away, and giving out the chocolates and tearing the card up in the trash. And I
Why
cried.
she have to do all
Dude,
that?
What a bitch.
You wanna
Oh, I
fight
would
a
have
that's
bitch?
pulled that
so
bitch's hair.
fucked.
I would have did her ass.
I would have
Dude,
pulled her uterus out her vagina.
I legit,
God
I
damn it,
legit,
Ezekiel.
I remember like putting my head down and just like I cried, and then I didn't know anybody. I was young, but I was like old enough. Like it was like fourth or fifth grade maybe.
Old enough
So
to
then-
remember and feeling.
Yeah, so
That's damn near
just
fucking trauma, dude.
so then hold on. It gets better. So then
Oh,
the next
damn.
so then
Better or
like
worse?
it gets better
Right.
because then afterwards her cousin asked me to be her Valentine, and I was like, you know what, whatever. And this girl, I still I follow her on Instagram. She's a very nice person. We don't talk anymore, but she's like a very fun and sweet person. So like that year, our school closed down, and she wanted to give me a goodbye gift, so she went out of her way and bought me a Minecraft sword.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
Here's the
sweet.
thing.
That's
It's funny,
sweet though.
but that is so
but it's
sweet.
funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
funny,
sweet.
but you gotta remember, that's so sweet because like she did all of this just so he could feel better and everything too.
And I was like, oh, dude. And then like we talked again, and this is gonna sound cringy as hell, but this is before I got in my last relationship. I was talking with her again, and we talked about getting back together, and she was like, yeah, of course. And then she told me we made a promise to each other saying we'd wait for each other, and I was like, I bet. And then I went ghost. I went through some things and I went ghost and stuff like that. That was my fault. And then she told me she had got a new boyfriend. And dude, she was so apologetic about it. And I'm like, no, it's actually my fault. Like, it's like completely fine and stuff. She's so sweet and so nice. She's like a really like, I'm gonna put it like this. If I think I like showed Kaii or Sergio her, she's just a really sweet person. And I wish nothing but the best for her.
So is she single
Then-
right now?
You're a cunt.
I'm joking.
Sorry, Serge,
Come
you
on.
don't stand a
It's
chance.
a joke around. I'm just playing around.
Nah.
Come on.
No, it's fine.
I'm
No,
sorry,
it's fine.
Serge.
But
I
no,
didn't mean to believe.
I wish nothing but the best for her and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
But that's
sweet.
how
That was a nice story. I enjoyed
But that's
that.
how Valentine's Day was ruined for me because it wasn't on Valentine's. Well, how do I say this? It was like kind of after Valentine's where she's like, "Well, how about I make up your Valentine's Day?" And I was like, "I bet." So
She sucked your dick.
no, I wish, but
They're in like
it-
fourth grade. Hey, what the fuck?
Right, the story
I know.
was awesome.
I forgot, okay? I forgot.
I forgot.
that would have been. I wish that would have happened because it would have been a better story. But
Not really. You guys are
For
in
you
fourth
personally.
grade.
To be honest,
I know
that is-
people who
that
claim
is-
they fucked in the fifth
why is
grade or
white?
sixth
Why is white stuff coming out of my peep?
Oh god.
But no. So
Why is it indigo?
so yeah. So then everything.
Oh no, that's far from what it should be.
I can't.
That's just
I
fucking
cannot
cancer.
stand you.
But yeah, no, that's why. So that's why I started hating Valentine's Day. But then, like every other Valentine's Day, like every year, I got so unlucky. It was from like getting into fight with people I really care about to like getting really sick around that day or on it. And Kai can vouch for me. Like even on Valentine's Day, I think last year it like kind of was stuck ass. Like it just wasn't special. It was slow.
Yeah,
So
that's then again that's because of the person you were with too.
that yeah,
I hate
but
that
you
bitch.
know, but this year I had my very first special Valentine. Like it was actually good.
You got head
You're welcome.
I wish, but
by Eddie. Eddie gave you head.
Eddie
Yeah.
gave me the best head in the world.
I'm
Yep.
jealous.
It
Why
was a
wasn't I
bobblehead.
invited?
It was a bobblehead.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ha
Eddie
ha,
was the
just
bobblehead.
joking.
I was the damn bobblehead,
Oh,
and
if
I
he
rocked
was
my
shit, no,
head
I'm
back
not
and
joking.
forth
Why wasn't I
all
invited?
God damn it, Eddie.
night. You see, when I
But-
commit to a bit, I can make it worse.
Yeah, you
But
do.
yeah. Any bad Valentine's Day for you guys?
Yeah,
Every year?
single one.
Yeah, because I was single.
No, I had one where this girl, like, I got her some shit, and then she chose my best friend over me,
God.
Yeah,
and
sorry
like
about
he
that,
completely
Kai.
broke code.
Sorry about that, Kai.
That was about it though. Nah, it'd be like that. I was concerned. I was young. I wasn't like, damn, she did my ass. I was like, shit, on to the next one.
Yeah.
On to the next song.
That's why I bought her some cheap shit too. I'm like, this shit not even finna go. Like at a young age, I had a clear understanding that like shit like that, especially at such a young age, doesn't last. So it's not even worth it to put in the effort if it happens.
Yeah.
Shit, right now it still doesn't matter.
It really
Very
doesn't.
high chance.
I mean,
Very
high
high
school
chance that your
sweethearts
high school
is real,
sweethearts
but
What was
aren't
it?
gonna
Eddie.
last.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Brittany and her boyfriend. I feel like they're gonna last.
Yeah,
Oh hell yeah, they've been together for years.
They've been together.
they've been together since freshman.
Yeah. It's
Longer actually.
Yeah,
No,
like 8th
they
grade,
started
right?
freshman.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Exactly. That's why I feel like they're gonna last. So it's possible, but not
yeah,
the most likely thing.
What?
A high
It's
school
not a very
relationship.
common occurrence.
Yeah. I mean, right
I
now.
know this dude.
some people make it
His
work.
parents dated all through high
Others
school. They're
don't.
married. They're still
Yeah.
happily married.
I mean,
My-
right now, so, like senior
Like
year.
I said, it's
more
not a
possible.
common occurrence.
Yeah, but I mean, right now in senior year, it is still like more possible than freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, my freshman relationship lasted all the way until like junior summer, like this summer after junior year. So I'm pretty proud of that at least.
Yeah, you could be proud of it.
Yeah,
I'm not like
you fought for that, Chief. You did
Yeah,
well.
you did.
I did
You're
my
a warrior.
best, and that's all I need. I just wanted.
Yeah,
Don't worry, Andrew. We'll get
I
into
feel like
sad
you should
times.
just know, like, we're proud as shit of you, Chief.
Yeah, we are.
Thank you.
Don't worry, we'll get
Not
into
me,
sad
though.
times soon. Eddie, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll get into sad times
Eddie, I
soon.
love you.
We'll talk about a couple more stories, and then we could go into sad time. So,
I'll like ease into the sad times by like
yeah.
having
Yeah,
like
you
these
did.
2 stories.
Yeah, you
But
Oh, are you doing sad stories?
not yet.
well, you know what? It eased well, so yeah, let's get into sad stories. Why not?
Okay. Hello. I am your host.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am your host, Thick Corgi
Shut up.
Bert,
Yep.
and I will be presenting fat and wavy sad stories.
Fat and wavy
So-
sad stories, of course.
Is this just
ooh,
like a separate segment now?
So I guess we can have at least one good story. So when I was on my way to a date, I had food poisoning, and then I didn't help the fact that this was recent. This was like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, I know this one.
So I basically didn't help with Subway or not Subway. 7-Eleven. I ate a 7-Eleven burger because I'm like, well, maybe
My bad.
Bless you.
Thank you.
it's like the fact
It
that I
was
didn't eat.
7-Eleven.
Yeah, so maybe it's the fact that I didn't eat and I just gotten over like food poisoning and shit. So basically, there was this big puddle. I jumped over it, and as soon as I landed, I shit myself.
Oh.
And I,
I mean, imagine
Oh,
you
no.
jump. Once you land,
You jump, you land, and
yeah, there you
just
go.
right. You.
That's
and
how
I
it is.
remember
Okay, I'm
just,
back.
I remember just like
Uh.
like landing and then looking up and like, oh, fuck. So I was overly doberly pissed, and I was like, oof, man, oof. So,
Your body
um,
just top 10 anime betrayed you.
dude, I like went into this like thing. Thank God my pants, cause like I wear, how do I say this? My underwear caught everything, and my pants were like safe because like my pants are baggy as shit. So,
Yeah.
They
I
weren't as baggy as the shit in your drawers, but
yeah, it was that horrible. So like I go into this like auto shop and I'm like, hey, can I use your bathroom? They're like, yeah, sure. I like throw away my underwear and like have to clean off everything. I even washed my pants just to be sure, and then dried them in the little hand dryer. And then like I was texting her like, don't worry, I'll be there soon. I'll be there soon.
Oh, that's not mine. That's
In reality, I'm like cleaning my shit, and then like I get there. And she's like, hey. And I'm like, hey. Like, I have like this disappointed look on my face. I'm like, hey. She's like, are you okay? What's wrong? And I'm like, I looked at her and I'm like, I,
I
I,
shit myself.
I shit myself. And like, she just starts laughing. She starts laughing, and then I start laughing because I'm thinking, like, it's so stupid how it happened. But it's like, it's beautiful.
It's
Yeah,
a little bit of
man.
I bet
both.
that relationship sucked.
Uh, Eddie, why do you have to ruin it, huh?
It's just going.
Honestly,
I mean,
I might kick you just because you have to ruin it.
Well, I'm sorry.
that was a happier time.
It
So,
was supposed to be a happier story, but Eddie has to fuck it up.
yeah. So the relationship. Okay, yo. So the relationship was like relationship lasted 2.5 years. We started dating January, the January 2017. So it was like right, like we started talking on a new year, and then we dated towards the end of that month. We had went on a date. We were talking. We were just having fun. A couple of stupid teens. Well,
Yes.
tweens. We were like 13, 14.
Young, dumb, and bro.
Yeah, we were young, dumb, and broke, dude. I remember I took her to like the movies, and I like spent I spent a lot of money. I had like $50, and I spent like majority of it at the movies. I forgot how expensive it is.
Dude,
But
movies
you
are
know,
expensive as fuck. When I
yeah,
went
but
to
I
see
wanted,
Movie
Infinity
theater,
War,
yeah,
every
but
seat
it's
over $100.
but I wanted to make a good impression. So like I was looking at like text messages from me and her's mutual friend, like, oh my God, like they're telling me, yo, she likes this, she like this, she doesn't like this, and I'm like,
So
the
like this,
conversation,
and not you.
yeah, the conversations were getting like real slow and stuff, and her friend came in, and we had a good time. We genuinely had a good time. Um, the relationship was good for like a while, like a few months until like something happened. She got distant, and then I started. I think it was sophomore year, freshman year, I forget which one. She started getting distant. I was like, I felt like a piece of shit because of it. Um, and yeah, I just felt like utter shit. But I was like working at the garden at the time, so
Oh, yeah.
I had met with this. Yeah, I'd got a new friend. Like I'd met a friend. I'd made a friend and stuff like that who I can vent to and stuff like that. And yeah, so that person knew what was going on for the longest of time. And then I had two other friends who, um, I had two other friends who like were like really good friends. Like I trusted them with like everything. Um,
It's
Were
kind
but
of
Were they in your biology class?
no, huh?
Were they in your biology class?
No.
Jesus.
I mean, you were in my biology class,
Exactly.
and I
I was
trusted
trying to
you.
say, was it me and Jesus?
Yeah,
No,
no, it
fuck you,
wasn't around.
Sergio.
It was. It wasn't around that time. It was like I think sophomore. I'm pretty sure it was sophomore year, but Yeah, it was like a lot of back and forth between me and her. I'm like, I would try to engage a conversation and she'd be like, whatever, you know. And like, I'd try to be super optimistic and happy, and she'd be like, well, you know, go fuck yourself. And I'm like, okay, like I don't know, her like vibe just brought me down so much. Um, and you know,
I
we went
killed
through
a
that.
moth and it's stuck on my TV.
We went through that rough patch, and like she apologized, I apologized. I felt really guilty about it. She felt really guilty about it, and I thought we were good, you know.
She sucked my dick. I sucked her dick.
Yeah,
Everybody was
like
happy.
yeah, her like 10-inch wiener, man, it was great.
Yeah, man.
So,
Honestly.
but
Jealous, to be honest.
yeah, but it you know, time went on, and we got into like petty fights, of course, but like we always like resolved them until junior year really hit. Junior year, I was the most depressed and mentally drained that I could ever be. I was not okay
Yeah, that's true.
physically, I was not okay mentally and emotionally. I would like not sleep at all and then wake up and like I like wake up and then be like, okay, let me drink a soda and also mix like a whole bunch of like pills so like I can, you know, stay awake.
Oh, my
So
bad.
like so I take like a Dayquil to help. I remember taking like a Dayquil to help every single day. Like I took a Dayquil, like not even eating. I just took Dayquil so I can like not feel sick because like when I don't sleep, I feel like really sick. So Dayquil suppresses, you know, like those feverish symptoms and stuff like that. And yada yada yada. So I was kind of like quiet about a lot of things. I wouldn't say much. Like she would do things, I wouldn't say much. I'd be like, oh, it's whatever, you know, it's okay, you know, it's so fine. Um, but some of the shit wasn't fine, and like I admit where I'm wrong. I on occasion yelled at her, and I would get really upset, and I'd get pissed off. And I don't know if that's because like all my addictions were coming back with like alcohol
Cut
and
fucking dick.
pills and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's it, but
It was.
it was just I wasn't okay mentally. Like I needed someone and I relied on her heavily and I shouldn't have. Um which led to me getting admitted to inpatient and for suicidal thoughts, depression. And then I got diagnosed and everything. Um I kept her like photo with me. Like during that whole thing I kept a photo of her and I had her number and we called every day. But like I made sure I had her phone number and like her photo with me at all times. Like no matter what, when we left when to do something, I like had her photo. So, you know, that was my only like real way of like with everything going on with like family problems and you know my own problems. Like that to me was like the only light I had, even though sometimes it was the reason why I feel like I was there because at the same time I relied on her so heavily was because I couldn't communicate properly of how much I needed help. So it's easier to tell someone you're not okay, but I'll be fine, rather than tell someone like, oh, I'm not okay and I need help, but I don't know how to like start something like that. So, um, fast forward to like um, after the hospital, you know, um, it was like a lot. I remember one time we went to a party too. We went to our like mutual friends party. Kai, you were there, and like I absolutely
Mhm.
cried. I like had a big anxiety attack, and I cried, and I like I remember like saying I'm afraid that she's gonna leave me and find better, and I know I'm not the best, and I know I'm a piece of shit. Um, yeah, and so like I was just basically breaking down during that whole experience. That was shit.
Jeez.
Um, yeah, but it was just like a whole collection of like I don't want this person to leave me, but at the same time I'm not healthy. and on some occasions I'm not even happy. There's a lot of things she doesn't know. Um, like for example, I used to like I don't know. I used to like write poems for her a lot whenever I'd be upset with her. So I'd like write, and most of them would be about like ways that I'm sorry and stuff like that. And it was pretty, I don't know. It was like a, it was weird, but yeah. Um, then, um, then it was like just random stuff that she would be so like uninterested in. Like I'll be telling her a story and she does not seem interested in it at all. I talk about my like passion and stuff. She doesn't care too much. And then it went to like oh yeah, like I went out with my friends and I was like I wish you could be here with me. And then she's like, well, to be honest, I would have said no anyway because like I don't really like your friends. And that kind of hurt me because I'm like, well, I mean, like I understand not all my friends can be tolerated, but like the fact that
Like me?
like but the fact that like you can tell me blatantly like I can't stand your friends um
How she said it.
out of out yeah like just out of the blue and like so blunt, like it was no like warning. It was just like I don't like your friends and yada yada yada, I don't like being with you guys. And I was like okay, that I mean I understood.
It was just a
um
giant fuck you.
yeah, like
It was more. I think it was more of a I think she was just trying to control you or something like that.
That's what I was
I don't
gonna
know.
say, but I was waiting for the moment. That's what it
Because
seemed
like
like. I feel like she
I've
told you that
spoken
so
to
you could
her
get.
and her friends, and I know how she wants a relationship where she's in control and her friend is a thing. It's terrible. It's
oh
just
god,
terrible.
I completely forgot about that story. I like went on her phone, and I know this seems bad, but like I had snuck on her phone to see a message, a certain message, and I kind of proved myself right with it, but kind of not. I felt like something was going on with her and her best friend at the time. Um, well, how do I say this? I guess they were best friends. I don't know. They had just recently started talking to each other again, yada yada yada. But um, I like looked at the messages and it was just like them joking around and her saying like, "Oh yeah, I got him wrapped around my finger," and I kind of like in that moment I was like upset, hurt, and like mad, but I didn't leave. Like I troopered it like all the way. Because that was my first sign of I should probably leave, but I don't. I didn't.
You didn't want to.
Junior year, I honestly wish I would have just told you to leave,
Yeah.
but I told
I
you
wish
to
I knew you
try.
earlier.
It was a
Yeah.
lot. It was a lot. Like people told me to leave, but I didn't, cause like I'm one to like fight for something that I really want. If I feel like it's worth it, then I'll fight for it. Um,
To bet you wasn't.
yeah.
For
and
real.
and this was one of the fights
I
that I
honestly
killed.
too good she wasn't. You ended up with like a way better situation.
Yeah, thank God. But geez, man. So fast forward to like the actual months leading up to the breakup. I tried so hard. I like during that summer, I like had to find myself, and I was with Kai a lot, and I was with the boys, and I was always like trying to like think about what I was doing wrong and how can I help. I remember I used to, and Chris remembers this too. I used to like call him and the boy like late at night, telling them like she's doing this and
Boy, we're
this
doing
and
this at 12 in the morning.
this. Yeah. But I used to call him like late, and I used to tell him like, yo, she's doing this, she's doing this, she's saying this, and she's acting like this. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? And then like, Chris is trying to be a good friend.
Chris, a good friend.
Hey, yo, chill out, Eddie. Chris is a good friend. He just fucks around a bit.
Chris is a bitch.
Yeah, I'm a bitch.
Eddie, don't be a bitch. Come
I
on.
had to come out like that.
Chris is just a bitch.
But yeah, no, Chris was a good friend during that time. Um, and like Chris knows, I almost like cried with her like a few times on the phone. I like it was to the point where I like hated everything. But I tried, you know, I fought for it. I would talk to Kai even and be like, well, how could I fix this? How could I fix that? And, you know, uh, one of our mutual friends said like, oh well, you should like tell her straight up, be like, take a break. And I'm like, yeah, but like I didn't like breaks. And well, no, that's a lie. I knew she didn't like breaks, and I was like trying to be considerate of her, and I was like, okay, well, she doesn't like breaks, and one time I suggested one, and she was like really upset at the idea, and I felt bad, and so like I would never put her through that again. You know what I mean? So I didn't, and I kept the relationship going. And the way I saw it was basically, I don't know, it was her showing signs of wanting to leave me, but at the same time contradicting herself by I'll never like leave you, I love you so much, you're everything. And then like it's like
Giving you
running towards
false truth.
yeah, it's like running towards a brick wall and someone saying, "Well, it's just made of paper, so you can like run right there with it." And like I was thinking, like in my head, I'm like, "This is crazy. This is insane. I'm running towards a brick wall, and I know it's not going to break. But what if, you know, what if I do have some sort of secret power, or maybe it is made of paper, and I'm just overthinking everything." And then I don't know, the day it happened, she was like, we did the normal stuff. You know, she sent me like she told me how was my day, did I eat, and stuff. And I had had like a really shit day. Like I did not sleep that whole night. Like I was up 24/7. Or not 24/7, but 24 hours. I was wrecked. Um, but that was the day she chose, and I remember she called me and she was just like crying on the phone. Like she didn't know how to talk at first. She was stumbling over her words, and I kind of like I had sent our friend like a message to like a screenshot and everything. Like I'm so afraid of this because she like never wanted to like she never asked to call me before, so I was like I'm like afraid of it, and I don't know why. And then she told me she was like stumbling and she's like I've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think it's time. And I looked at her and like she couldn't get it out, and I like told her I was just like, are you like breaking up with me? And she's like, yes. And I was like, I like started crying, but like I like had to push it all down, and I'm like, okay, you know. So, you know, I I didn't feel it at first. I really didn't feel it at first. Um, it was there, but it wasn't bad. Um, so I had um I had told her that I was proud of her for leaving me. I told her that I was proud because she's doing something for herself and she's making herself happy. She's focusing on herself. Ever since the relationship started, I said I want you to be happy with or without me. And if you choose without, I'm okay with that. I understand. And this time she chose without, and I understood 100%. Um, and even then, like I blamed myself for the whole relationship of like maybe I was just a piece of shit. And like maybe that year in particular I showed her what she thought was my true colors, and in reality I just needed help and everything. I wanted revenge, but like the good type of revenge. Like I wanted to show that I could be better. Like I could be a better me, or like the same person that she had met like a long time ago. Like just show that I can do better than what you saw if you like gave me a chance. Um, but you know, breakup happened. I came around the house and picked up my stuff. You know, my friend was there, and I kind of just like, I kind of like just put on music and we drove around, and I didn't know what to do. Really didn't. I remember getting home and just sleeping, and then like the very next day, I was I was calling two friends, and then I had left, and it was that moment reality hit me that I like was moving stuff over, and I saw her hoodie, or the hoodie that I had made for her, and I like picked it up and like smelled it, and it smelled like her, and then I started just crying because I'm like, I really felt like I fucked this up. Like I feel like this is all my fault. I lost this and yada yada yada. And I was like, fuck. So like I was crying in my room. It was late and it was bad. It was like really, really just not the best moment for like the next few, like I guess it was like for the next few like two, I guess, months or so. Like it was before the new thing happened. The new lovely
New relationship.
yeah
Uh,
relationship happened, and but before her I was just kind of like in a mess because I would see her all the time, and like it was before, like, how do I say this, it was before all the drama happened too. Like I tried to get back, like I checked up on her. I was like making sure she was okay. She didn't show up one day, and I text her and been like, hey, like, where are you at? And she's like, oh, I'm like doing something. And I was like, oh, well, here's the assignment for the day and stuff like that. It's pretty simple, and I hope you have like an amazing day. And I like really tried to like think of maybe a possibility of us getting back together, and then that thing happened, and I was like, fuck, okay, whatever. And then I realized like she really just doesn't want to be with me, and she probably hates my guts, and I was okay. Like I was like, fine, whatever. So then I moved on, and then nothing got better. Like nothing got better. But you know, one thing that the relationship showed me was more so who my real friends were in that moment. Because I had gained new friends like Eddie
Yeah, it
and
was
stuff.
none of us. That's the thing. We all hate each other. That's how it is.
Yeah, we all hate each other. But no, I had gained like a new friend in Eddie. I refurbished, like I refurbished the friendship with Sergio, and Chris was always by my side, and Kai was as well, and we were all like, they were all there for me, and I couldn't ask for better friends than them. You guys are truly amazing, and you know
know
I'm happy
you.
I
Just a
didn't have to
bitch.
go in. Yeah,
It's kind of gay.
I'm happy I didn't have to go in alone.
I just have one thing I want to say.
Which is
What's up?
Chris a bitch.
alright, amazing.
Nice.
That's the synopsis of the whole story. Chris a
Yeah.
bitch.
Yep.
The moral.
Chris a bitch.
Yeah, that's Eddie's little saying. Chris is a bitch.
Chris is
Man,
Nice.
yeah, Andrew's breakup was tough. And yeah, we
It's
luckily
tough for me too, man.
we all have each other.
Yeah, yeah. I know for a fact,
Yeah.
and the weird part is like people still come up to me and say, "Oh, do you know like she's talking shit behind your back?" And I'm like, you know, at this point, I can't like stop. Like I can't do anything about it. It's not worth it. If it like pops up more regularly and I hear more stuff about it, then I might confront it. But other than that, it's like, it. I expected that. I knew it was gonna happen.
Which you shouldn't expect. Especially since like after the relationship ended, like you like people were like asking you about the breakup, and you'd be like, she's an incredible person, she's a great person, but things just didn't work out, and yet like you were basically saying like it was just an ending on for like mutual benefit. Like you didn't badmouth her
No,
Yeah,
it was
I
all
like
There was
ever
no.
to anybody.
there was no animosity.
Yeah.
oh fuck, messed myself up.
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't.
she's a complete cunt behind your back.
Yeah.
I know.
She
Yeah.
talks
I really,
major trash.
Like
And
I do
that one
not want
story you told us about you shitting yourself, like the day you went to visit her. Yeah,
yeah.
she literally told everyone you're a weirdo,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
it's just so weird. She
And
treats you like this terrible person
Yeah. She
I
does.
when you
I
really didn't do much.
and it
You
was
really just loved her, and it's like, oh wow, you suck dick. Why the fuck are you loving me?
Yeah.
It's like,
and it
wait,
was and it was wild too because like I was so insecure about like actually admitting to the fact that I have a problem with my mental health and everything. And I had just gotten like so much better with it. Like I had felt like this was a fresh new start and everything as the new year rolled around and all I hear is, "Oh, well, you're a psychopath, you're a sociopath." You know, they're calling you this, they're calling you that. And like I felt completely crushed. I'm like, wow. Like
yeah, that was an arc. Like I was ready to throw hands. We were gonna stomp ass. I remember that shit.
and I remember like everyone like I remember you and Serge and stuff like that. They're like you guys are all like go beat like get that ass. Like go at like do something about it. And I was like, no, I'll just wait. I'll wait until the moment is right and stuff like that. And then everything came crashing down because they realized that I had figured out what they were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was
And
just
then
mad shit.
Thanks to me. Haha.
That too. Yeah.
actually no, this was before you, Reddy.
Oh wow, really?
This was a different friend who like told me everything. You came in afterwards. I never confronted her about what you said.
Yeah, no, it just happened. She just kind of started. Now she knows we're friends, so I'm 100% sure she will not trash about you right in front.
Yeah, that's the best part is like when she found out me and you were friends. Like she was like, "Hey Eddie," and then like I'm like, "Eddie, what's up?"
that
Sorry,
was a big
I'm not
flex.
paying
That was
attention.
awesome. Like I felt the chills, man. Like
That did
I
throw her
could
off quite a bit.
feel the emotion that poured off of her. Like
Hmm.
she looked like she was like, ah, shit,
Yeah.
ah,
I
fuck,
fucked
my
up.
ass. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. What was it? I do want to point out that one thing was you did show that you still cared even junior year
Yeah,
because I would.
hard.
Yeah, because what
I
was
would
it?
have been
My
gave
last
up on that shit.
class I had with her, and I would always see you there when I walked in. Remember, Andrew?
Yeah, dude, I remember I used to show up late to my class. Or not show up late, but I'd show up like almost late, and
Yeah.
on some occasions late, so I could like tell her like, I remember I'd whisper in her ear like, "Remember to like learn something today. I love you so much, and you're gonna do good today. Like just don't stress yourself out,
Yeah.
and I hope you clear like your mind." And then like I leave, I just tell her I love you and give her a kiss, and then dip,
Yeah.
you know. And then yeah, like I said, I, I don't know, man. Like hearing like her talk shit about me, or hearing the fact that she does talk shit about me, it's not so mad that I'm like mad about
I
it.
think
It's
it's
more
more
so
of she's jealous about you that you're able to move on and she can't find a guy who likes her
Yeah, I
for
was
who
about
she
to
is
say,
because
like,
she's a
she's
shitty
never
person.
gonna find a guy, man. There's never gonna be someone that's gonna deal with her the way you did, like ever.
And you still talk good about her?
Yeah, she'll
and
never find anyone like you, dude. Like that's just confirmed.
God fucking
yeah.
damn it! God
I like how
fucking damn it!
through
God
this whole
fucking
thing
damn
I
it!
didn't mention much. Like through the whole my story at first, it was like mostly, oh yeah, it was just stuff that was happening and stuff like it. I
Yeah.
didn't try to make her seem like a bad person, but I mean,
That's just how it is.
I low
And
key
you
gotta
still
give her.
never went back and did it. Like you never bashed her. You kept like all that shit private, like between all of
Yeah,
us.
you
Like,
did.
yeah, she's talking shit, and then you would talk to us about like how we could potentially handle it. The
Yeah,
bad
exactly.
thing about it though is that like when it comes to breakups and relationships, if a guy tries to do anything to make himself like to make it seem like oh yeah it didn't bother him or something, like it makes you look like a dick. you look like you're the asshole. And it's
Yeah.
like if you like would have went up to her or approached her about it or tried to do something, it's like all the cards were in their hands. Like they played this shit right. So we all had no choice but to kind of sit there and accept what they were doing
Yeah.
up until like you guys had that talk. And even after that talk, she kept going. But like Eddie said, it's really just jealousy. Like the way that she glares at you in your
Sorry, my Discord did something weird. I'll fix this right now. Sorry. All right, we're
Sorry,
back.
man. Continue with it. You were saying.
Yeah. Go ahead, guy.
yeah, shit, my bad. But like just the envy, like she she looks very envious whenever she sees you and your girl now. Like she looks very envious of you.
It's probably because she looks
It's
better
never
than
like a
she
look, it's a
does.
glare. Yeah, it's like it's confusing. Not confusing, but it's just like it's sad. You threw away something great that you had. You threw it away.
And now you're
You
getting
weren't
jealous
willing to
over it.
fight for it, and now, yeah, exactly. Like,
She's essentially didn't realize what she lost until she lost it. What she had until
yeah,
she lost it.
You
Which
good?
is funny
exactly.
because I had told her like before we even broken up, and I was just like,
Oh
I don't
shit.
really like we had like a big real talk, and I was like, I'm gonna be honest with how I am now mentally and everything. If you was to like if you I don't know what I'd do without you. Like I feel like if you was to leave, I genuinely don't know what I'd do. Like because normally I'd be like, oh well, drugs and alcohol, or fuck it, be with friends and kick it. But at this point, I don't know, so it would be a mystery. She was always worried about hurting me. She kind of like really did not care about that afterward. But man, like it, and I. I'm gonna put it like this. She had her reasons for leaving me. I'm not gonna say I was perfect. Like the last year, I was just like not in a good headspace, and I was crying out for help a lot without realizing, like, I was just crying out for help and wanting someone to like help me without actually saying I need help. And with that, it was
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
Discord
bad.
is
Discord
shit
is
without
like
Wi-Fi.
jack shit
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's
Like,
fucking up right now. It's weird. Man, I'm
are
sorry
you still
I cut you
recording?
off. Yeah, now it's
no, you
recording.
good, you good.
I stopped and I recorded
Alright.
again.
What's your
Classy.
theory, boy?
My theory is, like, from what you're telling me, this could be reaching. I don't know, but from like what you told me and what you're telling us now, like you told her a lot. Like you don't know what you do without her, and if you don't, or fuck, my bad. And if you'd be okay without her, and then I'm pretty sure what she expected to get out of the breakup was she'd be like fine with the breakup, feeling like she did something great, and then you'd be sad not knowing what to do with yourself because of it. And she can feel like she has some form of power of victory over you because she was the one walking with her head up high while you were down. But then you're dating your new girl, you're happy, you guys are always happy, you're showing, but she sees that shit. And I feel like that's where the envy really hits because you told her you didn't know what you do without her. And now she's seeing you prosper without her when she had it in her mind that she was your everything.
I kind of told her too. I was like, I feel like if we break up, I'm not gonna date anyone like for the rest of high school. Like I probably won't find anyone. When in my head something popped up was just maybe she expected me to wait for her. Maybe she wanted me to wait for her. Like so she can like get herself together and then be like, okay, well, I'm better and you seem better, so let's get back together. But I
Nah,
didn't
but
wait
the
for
shit
her.
that she
I'm gonna
told you
kill
though,
myself.
like the shit she told you, like about you being in the hospital, like how she felt while you were in the hospital, like that shit's kind of unforgivable.
It really is.
I I remember she told me, she was like, yeah. I'm like, hey, are you talking to the people at like the lunch table? And she's like, no, I'm kind of keeping myself and stuff like that and
She
everything.
doesn't go to
And
lunch in the cafeteria anymore.
And that was
yeah,
big cap whole time.
but yeah, she like I was in the hospital and she had told me like oh yeah, I wasn't like I'm not doing that and stuff. Like I'm not talking to anyone in the caf. I just don't feel good without you and stuff like that. And then like I remember she wasn't there one day, and I was just like, when I was gone at the hospital, was she talking? Like, was she okay? Was she talking to every guy? And you guys were like, yeah, she was fine. She was talkative. She was happy. She was a-okay. And that kind of hurt me in the sense of like, so you lied to me for what? And what did you gain? I wanted you to actively talk to people that I was like, I wanted you to talk to these people because I didn't want you to feel alone because I trust them enough to I I trust them enough to like carry on a presence that I have when I'm not there. And if they make you happy, then talk to them. But instead, you lie to my face for no reason.
No reason at all, to be honest.
And yeah, I remember there was a few times. So I don't think she really got this. And I don't know. When I'm upset, I tend to like distance myself a little bit away.
Yeah, I
Like
feel
I
you.
don't, yeah, like Kai, firsthand, even with the new girl, every time she makes me upset, I like kind of move myself away and like try to calm myself down and just think.
Yeah,
I don't like to be around like certain people or something like that.
but that's just a sister. You gotta do that sometimes.
Yeah, so I remember, I think like I know for a fact she didn't like me being by myself, but at the same time, like what could I really do?
Right.
Because like if I'm put into that position of like now I gotta confront everything, I'm gonna panic without being prepared. But if I wait too long, you're upset. So it's kind of back and forth of me fighting myself versus me fighting you.
Right.
And sometimes my anger would come off as I'm mad at you, fuck you. More so it was really just me not knowing how to deal with this. So like I kind of just used anger as a way of like, well, I don't want to talk to you. Please get away from me. Or like like maybe I'd like. So I remember one time, her and her friend that used to be my friend placed a bet saying like, I bet you can't be nice to this person. Like I bet you can't be nice to them for a week. And I basically like felt hurt because I'm like, you guys basically said hey, you're being kind of an asshole, and this is the only way we feel like we can get you to stop. So you put a bet on me, and they were
Yeah,
like,
that's
like she was upset because she was like, no, no, it's like it's just some stupid thing, like just like it's not even a big deal. But to me, it's like you're using me for a bet because you feel like I'm being an asshole, and that hurts me. And so yeah, and and with like my old best friend, Jesus, dude, I didn't even know what to think about them at this point. It was a shit show with them too. Not even gonna lie. Like I remember when they had to like clear the air with me about everything that had happened. They were like, by the way, this doesn't mean we're friends again. And I'm like, no, fuck you. Why would I want to be friends with you after all this?
right.
Like I don't care about your friendship. I don't care about your shitty friendship or what you see me as afterwards, acquaintance, stranger, enemy, fuck you, you know? Like I feel like I feel like that was disrespect how you assume I'm gonna come crawling back to you after you
Kaii
pull.
was.
Yeah, so I was like, nah, I don't, like, and I told them straight up. I was just like, I don't care about the friendship. I just want respect. Like, if I'm
As
not
you
getting,
motherfucking should.
yes, sir. But yeah, um, dude, the whole breakup had like multiple factors to it, and like when you look at it, we were doing so well for like 2 years. It was like we were doing so well, freshman year, sophomore year, and then junior year we just kind of fucked ourselves over, and
I'm just gonna fuck.
and yeah, it was yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, looking back on it, I should have listened to some of you guys.
You should not have listened to me.
I didn't start talking to you until after the breakup. So.
Yeah, you didn't start talking to me. When I told Sergio about the whole thing, Sergio he put his hand on my shoulder and he dad talked me almost, and he was just like, "Listen, don't feel bad. You're
Gave
not
you
a
the
bad
talk.
person." Yeah, like he was like, "You're not a bad person. You're good. You're a good person." He told me everything that I felt like I needed to hear that I wasn't convincing myself of, and you know, and then he gave me the obvious, if you ever go back to her, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And I was like,
Yeah, there you
okay.
go. Can't
And
make
I'm
me
pretty
look.
sure we all gave you that though.
Yeah, we did.
yeah,
Not me.
go back
I
there.
But
yeah.
one thing is,
I
don't make
remember
me
you
look
telling me
like a
that
good
shit.
person so much, okay? I gotta hold up an
I mean,
image
yeah,
that I'm
Sergio's
a
a cunt.
dickhead.
I mean, you're a cunt, but
Exactly. There you
Yeah,
go.
Sergio's a cunt, dude.
Yeah.
but you're okay. You're okay at times.
Fucking
Yeah. There
big
you go.
ass cunt.
You
But no,
fuckers.
no, no. But no, you guys all told me if I get back together with her, you guys are gonna beat the shit out of me, and that's lovely. And even like when I was like trying to like still good mouth her and be like, yeah, she's a great person and stuff like that, fucking Kai would give me like this look of like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Cause you were fucking on some big cap shit right there, Chief. I'm like,
But
you can
like,
believe what you want to believe, but nah.
yeah, and I remember she had called me toxic, but like still wanting to do the toxic shit that she thought I would like. She wanted to do something, found out that I wanted to do something like far way like less hurtful, and then she's like, "Wow, that's toxic of him," and I'm like, that doesn't hold up, Chief. And then like I explained it to her and everything, and I like gave her like the full definition and everything, and like like I'm still toxic, I guess. Like I could easily ask Eddie, like, "Hey Eddie, have they talked? Like, have they told me I'm toxic still?" And
Which, by the way, no, they haven't. They don't talk to me.
then thank God.
Which is fucking good. There was no point for them to be like. It all started kind of on like misunderstanding because like Andrew, your best friend, like just with the relay of information, like it kind of just got like clouded. Eventually, like the meaning of your words of yours like and hers got clouded, got changed.
No.
Like because it wasn't coming directly from the both of you, so it was kind of just like I have to assume the tone of voice you said this in. I have to assume how you meant this, and like that started a bunch of shit,
Call me a
Like,
liar?
a whole bunch of shit.
Maybe he is, huh, Eddie? What you gotta say about that?
Beat your ass, Kai.
What happened, Chief?
Don't you dare
What did I
fucking call
do?
me a liar one more time.
Call him a liar. Call him a liar.
Eddie,
Yeah.
you're a
Love you, bro.
non-truther.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work. That'll do.
yeah. I didn't even confront her about all the stuff. Like as soon as Eddie told me everything, I didn't confront her about it because I'm like, geez, I don't want like Eddie to be in the middle of it. But then I heard like then another person came out to me and said that, and I was just like, oh shit, what do I do?
Fuck.
But yeah, that's really the conclusion of my story.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Chief.
Yeah.
You're
Honestly.
welcome.
That took a
Very
lot of
gracious.
strain.
I
Alright, I
would be
got a
back
story to
real
say.
quick. I will be back real quick, so hold everything.
All right. Eddie, what's
Sorry,
your
Chief.
little
Okay.
story? You can say it.
No, I'll wait for him.
Away from? Alright.
I'll
Yeah.
wait for him.
Yeah, no. It's
As long, well, I'll wait 2 minutes for him. If he's not back in 2 minutes, I'll start.
Alright, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, no. That's this is tough for him to talk about too. So yeah, I'm glad he got that out.
Yeah,
It's
to be
good.
honest.
He's strong for that, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like shit like that is always hard to talk about.
Yeah.
You could just hear it in his voice that it was hard.
Yeah. It really was for him.
And she's still on him after all of this.
Sadly,
Yeah.
she does still talk a lot of shit about him behind his back and all that.
Yeah,
And
It really is
That
just
shit-
jealousy.
blows the fuck out of me. I'm like,
Exactly.
if I ever catch you in the street, it's crazy how done your ass is. Like
Yeah.
that's wild.
And
I have my best friend beat her ass.
yeah, do that. But yeah, no, it's
Bet?
fine.
You think bruh.
We'll talk about this later off the podcast. Don't worry, okay, we'll get that done. No, but yeah, no, because breakups are tough, depending on how they go,
Yeah.
especially that. It can
That
really-
honestly could have just ended the way it did. I mean, like, because it was done. There was no reason for all of that to start.
it really was done. She had no
She
need
didn't.
to
Yeah,
talk shit
Keep
about him.
feeling it.
Exactly.
yeah. She could put on her fucking
She's just
big
jealous.
kid pants
Yeah, and
and fucking just let shit go.
it's just really shitty, honestly.
Yeah,
What was it?
a really
It could've
shitty
been
person
a
to be
whole lot
honest.
better.
Yeah. Here, Eddie, tell your story.
Andrew's back.
Yes.
Andrew, you back?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, baby,
Here's
yeah.
my story. Here's my story.
All right, go ahead.
Chris a bitch.
Fucking
Nice.
Eddie. Of course,
Nice.
Eddie. No.
Actually, no. I
That
still got
story
more.
was gassed
All
up.
right, go ahead, Eddie.
Just
Said you a bitch.
All right,
Alright,
there you
there's
go.
him.
You know what? Okay, fuck you, Eddie. Fuck you, room. Okay, should we just end it on Eddie's a bitch? There you go. Should we end it on
Eddie's a
that, or
bitch.
should we have
Eddie's
a
a
nice
bitch.
little story?
See what I tell you? He is.
There you go.
I guess I could contribute one more thing to it. I guess the
Alright, yeah.
story.
Go ahead.
The story. I kind of got cut off early.
What happened?
Yeah. Yeah, man. The story was hard to tell.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
doubt.
almost
Yeah,
wanted to
for
cry, man.
That's all right.
I cry.
But
Can't tell. I've been crying for like an.
Jesus. But
But yeah.
Eddie.
But
Sorry.
yeah, it. I'm gonna put it like this. This whole thing was more like I don't regret it. If I had a time machine and I had the choice to either tell myself don't date or just let it go, I'd let it go. I would because
And that's the better choice.
yeah, and everything led me to be who I am today and be with the lovely people I talk with now.
Yeah.
And I don't regret any of it.
Hello.
Yeah, what's
Hello?
up, Eddie?
Hello.
Yo.
Hello.
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 Well,
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. But yeah, don't
Yeah.
regret.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
not-
regret any of it, and
I mean,
everything.
it brought us to our podcast.
Podcast. Yeah, it brought us to our podcast. Jesus
Exactly.
Christ. And like the next hour and a half discussion.
Hour and 40 minutes is how long this has
Oh,
gone already.
Jesus.
So yeah, I think we might just end it here.
All right, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was my story, boys. I
Hello?
will.
Eddie,
Hello?
yeah, we could hear you, Eddie.
You-
Hello?
Eddie,
Eddie, I'm going to kick
Oh,
you.
he can't hear.
You
Is
can
he
hear me.
trolling
There
us
we
or
go.
is
There
it
we go.
that
There
I-
we go. There we go. There we
Oh,
go.
Yeah,
okay.
there you go.
And
Yeah, no.
Eventually.
This is a. Huh? Go on.
Yeah, and eventually I will make another. I will make another
Segment.
sad, fat, and wavy stories.
Yeah, we'll have that.
Maybe next time I'll have a story.
Exactly.
If I
Yeah,
bother
maybe.
telling my story, actually.
Maybe
I have one, but I'm just not going to tell it.
Maybe I'll stop being antisocial, get a life, and actually have shit to tell. Who knows?
Yeah.
Hey.
Maybe next
Hey,
time.
Maybe
keep
we
Kai
all
out
do
of here
something.
for judging me.
Yeah, we'll judge you, Eddie. Don't worry.
I can really use some fucking toes right now.
Fucking guy.
Fuck
Hey,
man.
boys, I'm
Nah.
not wearing socks. You want to try mine?
No,
Yes.
that's gay. That's gay. You have to have socks,
Alright.
Eddie. That's gay. Stop it. No, Eddie's gay. He's leaving. No. You're gone, Eddie.
Oh.
Banned. He's banned from the podcast.
Good.
Anyways,
Oh,
but
God.
yeah, no, maybe next
Sad
time
news.
we could tell more sad stories. Maybe we could talk about my breakup too.
Yeah,
But we don't know.
I'm trying to remain professional here, but the fact that you just freaked out on him and then went back to normal conversational tone is fucking hilarious.
I
Like,
know.
that's.
It's just something I could do. I could go like, no, fuck you, and then all back to normal. It's all good. So yeah,
So,
but yeah, this has been.
he's banned.
This
He's
has
banned from
been-
the podcast. But yeah,
This
no.
has been Channel 5 News.
No,
I'm Tyrone Blackinson.
this
Blackinson.
this was the sad, fat, and wavy segment of the podcast, and this has been the quarantine times. Hope you guys enjoyed and tune in next time. Right, guys?
Peace.
Yeah,
Love you.
definitely.
All right.
Love you,
no, fuck
viewers.
you, don't.
Eddie, shut up. You're banned from the
I
podcast.
might give you suck.
All right. Peace.
Eddie,